Today we're going to focus a little bit on this right here. Regal's Bobby Orr, hockey great, Étoile de hockey. Obviously they're in Canada because it's in French and because they love their fucking hockey. So let's talk about this for a little bit. This figure, it's a little broken on the bottom. The pieces are all intact though, surprisingly, and I keep them in a bag because of the pieces I'll show you in a moment. So you basically got Bobby Orr over here. That's not a illustration. That's actually a photo. It's actually funny. You could see they cut it out. It's pretty poorly cut out. And then they've got his autograph, of course, and in Boston Bruins official uniform, created by Regal Toy Limited, Toronto, Canada. Une création de Regal Toy. So there's two versions. This was the original version that came out. This is just a regular, generic kind of doll, if you will. It's 12 inches tall, and he's got these tiny little hands. Tiny. I mean, these hands are, I think, a little bit smaller than a Mego hand, 8-inch Mego. But what's cool, he's got his official outfit. It's in black. He's got his hockey stick, which probably is going to come out the bottom here. He's got his skates. And right here, I thought this was lost, but I didn't realize it's taped to the side. The actual hockey puck. So I'm very excited. So since there's a hole in the bottom, like I said, it goes in the bag. Now, this was the original first version that came out. I don't know how well it sold. It must have sold something because they went on to create a later version, which was more along the lines of what he looked like. Now, I'm not going to say that's an exact likeness, but there is a huge difference between this generic crappy head and this one here. So when they came out with this one, you can see this one's been faded a bit. He must have had socks on or something. The outfit is not that black. I don't know if it's all faded, which is actually a little bit brown. I think it is a little bit brown because I don't see any fade marks. But this is a later version. There's several things about it. You can see this is actually like a little suede, if you will. This button needs to be resewn. They've got these plastic buttons on the back. Let's see if it's marked because I never looked. It is marked made in Hong Kong. That's all you're going to get out of it. So yeah, it's a pretty generic doll, if you will. The arms, though, are rubber. Okay, they're plastic legs, which they're pretty much blow mold. You can see how well they're squeezable. These are rubber with these little teeny tiny hands. Okay, so what I want to show you tonight, I mean, they're not easy to come by. The one that looks like Bobby Orr, the one that looks more like Bobby Orr than the other one was supposed to look like him, is actually the harder of the two to find. This one's, it's pretty hard. Again, they also came from Canada, and being in the United States, that might make it a little different. Oh, look who's joined us. It is the Sancharoni, the Sancha Mahini, the Sancharuski, the Sancharonsky, the Sancha Madonsky, Bonka, Bonka, Donkey, Donkey, Donk. There he is, Brian Sanchez, ladies and gentlemen. Brian Sanchez is like the Ed McMahon of MyMegoLike YouTube channel. He just throws shit in all the time. So let me show you what they did. This is how popular it was. Now, remember, Mego had done the 12-inch Joe Namath figure and had the same kind of idea. Bobby Orr's up-to-the-minute outfits for all occasion. Outfits designed to fit all 12-inch boy dolls. Ensemble dernier, créé pour toute occasion. Ensemble pour toute poupée, garçon de 12, when I say inches, I forget I say inches in French, but collect them all. Complétez votre collection. Created by Une Création de Regal Toy Limited, Toronto, Canada, made in Fabrico, Hong Kong, Boxer and Baba. Now let's take a look at some of these yes, Lou's showing toys, making copies, that's right. Some of these outfits, well, we've got this looks like the skiing outfit we've got here, a little hard to see. Then we've got this, I don't know what this is. This is the Ron Jeremy outfit, Sanchez, would you say? Then we've got, I mean, remember, this was the 70s. Like, this is the way clothes looked. You got to be shitting me. Then we've got the karate outfit. Now, what I'm going to say about the karate outfit, I'm actually going to say this, is it's interesting. He has they're not really that short. Technically, the pants in what would be a more antique time would be that the pants would be halfway up the calf. So that's interesting. He's got the golf set with the visor, the shirt. He has this scuba outfit. Is that scuba? Yeah, it looks like a scuba outfit of some sort. Then he's got what I guess is a fisherman outfit. Look at this, baby. That's the James Bond wide collar set. We've got the tennis set. I'm going to talk about some of these things in a moment. We've got this, what do you call that, houndstooth outfit. Here he is as a hunter. I don't know what Bobby Orr's hunting. And here he is in his super 70s or so 70s robe. What's going on, ladies? You want to come out to the bachelor pad? Hey, that checkered suit is you, Scoobaloo. All right, so these are some of the outfits. So I was very fortunate to stumble across this. And then I'm going to show you guys how some of this stuff, we've got some tie over. Like, as a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure that tennis racket is probably the same tennis racket that went with Barbie or Ken. And I'll show you why I mean that in a second. So I'm going to bring this back. I don't really want to lay it on the bubble. The bubble's fragile enough as is, but let's move it to the side. And let's see what's inside the bag. I already looked because I didn't want to be totally surprised. But let's see what's in here, shall we? Okay. Make sure I got it all out. Yes, and this did come from Canada. All right. So let's start with the basics. We've got the black shorts, Boston Bruins short, Boston Bruins short. And you can see there's a huge color difference. Okay. I'm pretty sure this is not faded. This is the way it came. The other one's black. This was the original. Maybe the secondary came with this more brown one. I don't know. There's no fade marks on it, so I can't imagine that's fade. That's the color this one came in. But you've got the shorts. You've got the hockey shirt here. We have the socks. We've got the official Boston Bruins socks. We got a pair of those, okay? And then we actually have the hockey stick. All right, the same hockey stick is over here on the side. Unfortunately, there's not an extra puck. I've only got one puck. As I like to tell Brian Sanchez, get the puck out of here. So here is our hockey stick made for a 12-inch figure. It's actually in good shape. Looks like somebody might have been hitting the puck around a little bit in there. All right, get the puck out of here. All right, so let's move this over here. And let's go on to something else here. Then we have this incredibly fashionable. I'm going to look at the back of this because I'm trying to match outfits. So this one here is this bad boy right here. And it looks like he has some kind of, is that a scarf or an ascot? Oof. And I was watching some movie from the 70s. It was like a gangster film, if you will. And the guy's wearing a scarf. And I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty much sure that they didn't wear that. But if you check it out, the way you can identify the clothes is actually quite simple. It does say Bobby Orr Regal Toys with a tag inside. And that's actually sewn in. Again, these are snapped. This button's getting a little loose. I don't want to fuck with it. And, of course, there's the pants, the matching. And then this is the shirt, which you just snap around his neck. Or I should say partial shirt. It's like back in the 1700s. They just put the fake shirt on, then you put the jacket on. Looks like he has a shirt on, so that's not there. Saves a little bit of money. All right, so we've got this swanky outfit. Go puck yourself. Go puck yourself. Now, this one, I know Brian Sanchez is going to love because this one, he was trying to find one of these for himself. Too bad, Brian. I'll get this one first. Again, Bobby Orr's written inside. Look at this baby. Again, with the shirt that goes inside there. But look at that. That's, isn't that houndstooth is what they call that, I think? The bell-bottom pants. I mean, groovy right there. Groovy, groovy. All right, so there's two cheesy outfits. Now, incidentally, it's going to show you something which is interesting. This is not Bobby Orr. I think it's Barbie, but look at this. This is just kind of funny. So I think there was definitely some shit with Mattel going on. Again, I'll show you a little more in a moment. Because when you look at that, it's an exact pattern match. So I think this is Barbie. So anyway, we'll put that out there. Oh man, that suit is me. I would wear that suit. Amanda has a semi-formal on Friday, Brian, and I would wear that suit there. Everybody would be like, groovy, yeah, you the man. Okay, so now we've got the golf set. So the golf set, I've got the shirt, the short sleeve shirt, and I have the golf bag. I don't have any clubs, unfortunately. I don't even know if I'm going to find them. They're so hard to find. But this golf bag it's pretty swanky. It's got a little, so that's not a pocket, it's just there. Nice little golf bag. Maybe we look inside, we'll find a little something, something. What? Nope, just kidding, nothing in there. All right, you got his shirt in his golf bag, but it is missing the white pants, the white shoes, and the visor. And there it is right there with the visor. Said these are very, very hard to come by. These are not easy sets to get. This is not an easy toy to find as is. They do show up on eBay. There's a few up there. They're usually pretty loose, whatever. But here we go. Here's a nice little set we got going on here. This is this is so cheesy. This we have here is the, which way does this go? This way. This would be our tennis set. It's exactly what Brian Sanchez would wear when he goes out on the weekends. He wears his tennis set with his shorts, his jacket, and so on. It does not have the white sneakers or the jacket, but it is this white tennis racket. And I'm not a Barbie expert, but my sisters had Barbies when we were kids, tons of them. And I'm pretty sure that that's a Barbie racket. And I'll show you why in a moment. So, if you take notice on this figure, you notice he comes with a stick, his skates, his outfit, hockey puck. There's no gloves. So, well, the gloves fell out. The gloves did not fall out. This particular version of the figure came with no gloves. Maybe somebody has one with gloves, right? I don't know, but every version I've ever researched has never had any gloves. But it does have tiny hands, okay? It's like a T-Rex, tiny, tiny, tiny hands to Tyrannosaurus Rex. However, this version, which is missing the socks, it's missing the skates, and it's missing the stick, and it's missing the puck, this one, Brian Sanchez, are you ready to be floored? Came with these. These are the gloves he came with. Brian Sanchez, go ahead, reveal. What are those, Brian Sanchez? Take a look. Look carefully. I know you know the answer. Come on. I'll give you 30 seconds to come up with it. What do they look like to you, Brian Sanchez? And if anybody else is out there that knows, just shout it out. Shout it loud. Stop lying. Your favorite toy was the Ken doll. Oh, the Ken doll is terrible. All right, I'm going to show you because it's taking this thing to come up. That's right, Brian Sanchez. These are Big Jim gloves. You are 100% correct. These are Big Jim gloves. These came with the second edition figure on the card. I never saw a first edition with the Big Jim gloves. You say, well, how do we know they're Big Jim gloves? That's an excellent question, Brian Sanchez. How do we know that they're Big Jim gloves? Well, let's go to the videotape, shall we? So, this is a Big Jim glove. This particular one happened to come from the Cipsa Kidacero, which is Kid Steel or Big Jim in Mexico, Invisible Man. We're not putting them on there because the clear plastic, as I was informed, has a melt reaction with this, including the sneakers. Okay, so we keep them off. Let's do a little side-by-side, shall we, for those of you that like Big Jim. Take a good look. Somebody see any difference besides the color? All the lines match. It's a fucking Big Jim glove, baby. That's a Big Jim glove. And I would go to bet, without seeing them, I can almost bet, I would bet the farm that these white sneakers, let's take a look. I'll bet you that these white sneakers are the same white sneakers that came in the set, and that tennis racket is from a Barbie set or a Ken set. Let's take a look, shall we? Okay, these are what's pictured, although they're in a picture and it's small. If they're putting Big Jim gloves in, I can guarantee that these, I can't guarantee, I can almost guarantee that these are going to be the ones that came with the set. Mattel Toys made Big Jim and Barbie, and they made the outfits for that set. That is correct. That is correct, Brian Sanchez. Mattel did make Big Jim and Barbie, and Big Jim was basically the boys' action figure equivalent of Barbie. They shared a lot of commonalities, sets and vehicles and so on. And when I look at this, and I look at this, and say, holy shit, they're close. I'm pretty sure this came out of a Barbie set. And I'm pretty sure they were taking some of the stuff from Mattel or borrowing, or they had some kind of agreement. These gloves are 100% Regal's gloves that came with the second edition Bobby Orr figure. They also are Big Jim gloves. Now, this figure here, this is the harder to find Cipsa Invisible Man or Invisible Hombre with the Big Jim sculpt, okay? I think he came with white, but I know there's a version where he came with black gloves. I don't remember. I think it was a blue suit with black gloves on that. But I have to check with Gerardo Ortega to make sure. The black gloves look like the Big Jim motocross gloves. I don't know. I think aren't they hockey gloves? I don't actually, you might be right. I don't know what the hockey gloves look like. I shouldn't say that. I would trust your decision. I would trust your information more than mine. But yes, I do have other Big Jim gloves, probably in a bin somewhere over here that I forgot about. And I don't remember where I put him, Brian Sanchez. I had them here somewhere. I don't remember where I put them. I may have put them away, Brian Sanchez. I was going to try and do a pull and pull them out of the set, but I have a feeling that they are not here right now. What I do actually have are extra sneakers of Big Jim, which I can almost guarantee those go to the, I'm going to bet the farm that those go to the same sneakers that go to the Bobby Orr figure. Because, like I said, he already borrowed the tennis racket. There's a Barbie tennis racket for that. I've got sneakers here. So is that the motocross glove, Sanchez? This is yeah, that's a gray one. I remember, yeah, that's a gray one right there, which I have. No, I've got 50,000 drawers I have to go through, so I can't remember where it is. But that's a gray one that came out of the Big Jim with some of these extra parts I have floating around. I don't remember if I have one or two gloves for that, but regardless, they are Big Jim gloves. Here's another sneaker. So I'm going to bet that those white sneakers came with it. And I'll continue to do research because it's important to be accurate. We can't all be as smart as the Toy King himself, who knows everything when the rest of us are so dumb. That's an inside joke for those of you that don't get it. Okay. All right, so anyway, so there we have it. So if I'm correct and these are the shoes, I'll be putting some sneakers over here with my boy Bobby Orr, Bobby Brown. See, it's really hard to tell. And again, I could be wrong. They might not be the shoes. It's hard to say, but they could also just be cheap knockoffs, so maybe they're not. But regardless, they fit. And if the shoe fits, wear it, right? So those are some of the rare, very rare pieces that I was able to accumulate and do that. I'm far from having the knowledge of the Watermark King. Yes. Yes, Captain Canuck himself. Johnny knows everything. Everybody else is dumb guy. Yes, he knows everything. So I thought these were quite interesting. If you've never got these, they get expensive. As crappy and cheap as these look, they get very expensive. You've got action figures collectors collecting them. You've got hockey enthusiasts or fans collecting them. This one I could see it faded out from being in the sun. There's where his marks were for his socks and so on. But yeah, very, very, very interesting. Not one of my favorite action figures, I got to be honest with you, but it was definitely something to collect. And trying to grab, first of all, if I can find any uncarded outfits, that'd be a miracle. I mean, you're talking about, we got 12 outfits here. And what I have it looks like there's black shoes too, but I have incomplete versions of 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it, 4 outfits. I mean, look at all these cool outfits. This is you, Sanchez, right here. Now, what I also wanted to point out that I thought was quite interesting, if you look at this Bobby Orr figure, he's got this darker brown hair. If you take a look at here, look at the color of the hair on this guy. It's like reddish, right? So this action figure or doll or whatever you want to call it that's in this picture, this might have been a prototype figure, maybe with redder hair or browner hair. But this action figure, this head sculpt, shows up in other figures. It's not the first time it's shown up. All right, so I thought that was pretty cool. So now we've got a little bit of tie-in. Now I see how it ties into Mattel, and it ties into Mattel's Big Jim, which is also in Mexico, Sips's Quisero. All right, so you see the tie-in. So you've got Canada, U.S., and Mexico. Okay? So, as we say in the United States, English. For Brian Sanchez in Canada, it's Francais. And for Brian Sanchez in Mexico, it's Espanol. Your father used to have one of those rows back in the day. And you inherited it, Sanchez. You go out down to the end of the driveway to pick up the newspaper in the morning, right? All right, just a couple other silly things while we're here. We're doing this. Couple things. One, I was very excited to pick this up. I'm a huge Mustang fan, and this is a nice little 92 Ford Mustang they have. I know I'm like creeping this in. Talk about creeping that in. And this, which came in a lot, or a package I had, this big G.I. Joe life raft, which still holds air. I don't know if I showed this to you, but this was all covered in white paint, and it didn't want to come off. However, there are ways to get this stuff off, and we got it off. I started with a little hot water. That didn't work. A soft toothbrush. That didn't work. Then I put Goo Gone in there, not Goof Off, Goo Gone. It's a lot less strong. And I let it soak in there for a little bit. Then I took a little scouring pad and I cleaned it a little bit under hot water. Then I put it back in, let it soak again. And eventually it all just came off. And it looks great, doesn't it? Rolling in your 5. Yes, rolling in my 5. That looks good though, doesn't it, Sanchez? It's still inflatable. Melagron inflatable. There we go. That's an original. What I love is it still has the oar straps here. Right? The oar straps are still there. And it holds air. Most of them don't hold air. It's clearly a G.I. Joe raft because the knockoffs don't say G.I. Joe on them. Okay. So rolling in my 5.0. Slow. All right, let's turn this around. All right, so that's what we've come up with today. Got a little Bobby Orr. This is the one that's got the sculpt that's supposed to look like him. If you haven't looked him up, go look him up. Again, probably not the coolest figure unless you're a hockey fan. Maybe you're Canadian. Maybe you're all about the hockey. I don't know. But this is your Bobby Orr figure here, which is pretty cool. I love that the puck is still intact. So this, so we don't lose it, because any figures that I have that are on cards and the bubbles are starting to come off, like the Durham figures, or they're starting to crack or anything like that, we like to get them into a nice Ziploc bag. You can seal them any way you want. Some people seal them in saran wrap. I don't, because I like to sometimes go in there and take them out. And then what I like to do is get them in there, seal it up, use a little tape, and off we go. Now, for this one, we're going to actually put the outfits into the bag with it. So they'll be sealed. Then we're going to go put a push pin in there, tack them over there in the toy room of solitude where they were. I want to get these outfits in here and get them done. I think what I'm going to do is kind of separate out the outfits. Yeah. So anyway, I hope to find out which shoes they are. If it's those white Big Jim shoes, that would be pretty cool. It's a pretty cool thing. It's a nice little tie-in. If not, that's okay too. Maybe a little knockoff shoe. And if there's some knockoff shoes, they could have been Barbie, Ken, who knows. But he's got some tiny ass feet. His feet are the size of Mego feet. They really are Big Jim feet. His hands are tiny. His hands are about the size. They look smaller than a Mego hand in an 8-inch figure, and that's a 12-inch figure. So that's what we got there. But we're going to go look for one of those plastic tennis rackets, those white ones. I am 99.9% sure it's the same one as what came in Barbie. I think there was a little bit of help or borrowing, or they went to the factory in Hong Kong and said, hey, can we get a couple of these, a couple of those? Don't tell them we're ready to go. And we're ready to go. All right. Brian Sanchez, what do you want to say? Tiny hands like you. T-Rex hands. T-Rex hands, yes. He has T-Rex hands. Again, it is pretty funny because he's got these crappy plastic blow mold legs, and he's got these rubber arms. He's got these rubber arms, and they, here we go. He's got these rubber arms. They are, you know, the one thing that's kind of cool is they're colored to the skin, to the tone of the body. If you get a Mort Alexander toy, the color's off a little bit, but they've got these white plastic snaps on the back. So the year, you know, I didn't even check the year on that. Obviously, it's going to be during the Bobby Orr era, and I am not a Bobby Orr fan, nor am I a super hockey fan. When was this? This is, well, it's made in Hong Kong, so it definitely was the 70s. I don't remember when. I don't know when. I'll have to go look. But again, the cool thing with this is that it was from the 70s, and they kind of did what they did with Mego, did with the Joe Namath doll. Hey, let's get a famous person, let's get a sports figure, and then let's give them all these outfits. Brian Sanchez, didn't you used to wear the same outfits? Like you'd buy like one of these houndstooth for your Bobby Orr figure, then you went, you had a custom suit made in the same houndstooth, and you were really strict? Every time I think of that, Sanchez, I think of the Dave Chappelle episode where he's talking about cribs where they get their sneaker closet. He's got the People Sweatshop in his basement making him sneakers. That's pretty funny. All right. Tiny hands, tiny hands, tiny hands. Oh, my God. So, what are you guys collecting these days? Anything good? Anybody bring up anything good? Does anybody collect the Bobby Orr figures? Has anybody ever seen these before? Am I the only one? You can go to MyMegoLike.com, www.http:// So you go to MyMegoLike.com. There's actually a page for this. If you select on the left, you scroll down and you put 12-inch Regal Toy Bobby Orr. You can see more information on what's here and what you saw today. I was trying to bring, you were trying to bring it back. Nice. Dude, what I'd like to say to Sanchez is, Sanchez, you're so 70s. He's bringing the 70s back. Everybody's about the 70s now, especially Brian Sanchez. He loves the 70s. He's all about the 70s. All right, so I'm going to go do a little more digging. I'll see if I can find some more outfits. They are clearly very hard to find. It took me forever to find the one that looks like him. I mean, we're talking about 4 out of 12 outfits, partially, that I have. Is that right? Yeah. Partial that I have, and there's a lot more to go. So let's see what we can do with that. If it was done in a Barbie mold and so on, there's probably Barbie clothes, but if they're not stamped Bobby Orr, then they're just not Regal. All right. I did. All right. We'll say bell bottoms, platform shoes. Oh, yes, and afros. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Nothing wrong with that. What was the movie I'm going to get you, sucker? Need the fish, the goldfish in his platform shoes. That was great. My God, that was like the craziest movie. All right, guys, that's it for tonight. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. You may like, you may subscribe, or you may not. Whatever you do, thank you for watching. We're very happy to have you here. Brian Sanchez is going to roll the commercial, which I don't know if today it's inflatables or it's Preparation H or what it is. That's one of your favorites. That is a good movie. Brian, go ahead and roll your little commercial for them, for the fans before they leave, and then we'll end the trip. We'll end the friggin' show. This show brought to you by Brian Sanchez. Sanchez's Tacos, the best in Chicago. I'm waiting for Sanchez to come with some smart-ass remark. Go ahead, Sanchez. We're waiting for it. One of these days, I'm just going to bring you on live, Sanchez. You can jump on and you can do this while I'm going. I'm waiting for it. Don't take too long. People get upset, Brian Sanchez. Don't take too long. I'm going to bag each outfit so we know where they go. Brian Sanchez. Brian Sanchez. Oh, Brian Sanchez, you're not doing it. I don't think he's paying attention, so I guess I'm going to have to end this. I thought Sanchez was paying attention. I'll bet you Mrs. Sanchez is probably chewing him out for watching this instead of going out and cutting the grass like he should be doing, because he hasn't done that in a while. All right, everybody. Again, thank you for watching. Oh, here we go. Hold on. Hello. Do you suffer from an itchy bunghole? Poison ivy. Here we go. This is so great. I'm so glad kids don't watch this. I really am. It's too funny. Try Preparation M. Very nice. Sanchez, that's a good one. That was a good one. I like that one. Preparation M. All right, we're going to get the hell out of here. Hope everybody have a really good night. Thank you for stopping by to say hello. Feel free to check out our Facebook group, MyMegoLike, I'm sorry. Check out our webpage, MyMegoLike.com. Please check out other people's YouTube channels. We've got Johnny Shedrick's MIB Master Toy Museum, who now is bringing back vintage to the museum. It's about fucking time, Johnny. We've been waiting for you. We've got Rich Hurley's Dr. Durant's Sanctum. We've got, Rich does some really good videos on all kinds of cool horror stuff, Halloween stuff, Halloween masks, figures, all kinds of cool shit. He's got a lot of history into it. Rich is he's a wealth of information. We also have Open by Chance Vintage Toys with David Eon and LPH, or Lady Pop Hunter, who it's like going into a library back in time. The wealth of information and the toys that you can see are ridiculous. What else do we have, Sanchez? Who else am I missing? Raymond Castile's Basement of Horror. That's a nice one, too, if you like horror stuff, Raymond Castile. He also has a Facebook group. So does Open by Chance Vintage Toys, and so does Dr. Durant's Sanctum also has a Facebook group. Who am I missing, Sanchez? Am I missing anybody? It says, hey, Lou. What's Brian Sanchez saying? My wife says you look like the guy Sheldon from The Big Bang Theory. Nice! Thank you, Mrs. Sanchez. I'll take that as a compliment. I'll take that as a compliment, Mrs. Sanchez. I'm not going up against Mrs. Sanchez. If she can manage to keep this big guy in line, I'll be no problem for her. All right. What did I miss? Who else I missed rooms? Johnny. Check out Toy Pulloy. He's actually got some cool videos on how to repair stuff. I saw really cool when he went to a toy show, a fucking huge toy show. He's like, oh, this wasn't that big. It was big in the UK. What else do we have? God damn it, Sanchez. Who else am I missing? Who am I missing? The Stamper? Should we put up the Stamper? That's an inside joke. Sorry, guys. That's an inside joke. We have a little bit. She's a big fan. She's a big fan of that show. Unfortunately, I'm smart, but not that smart. I wish I was that smart. I do have other qualities, though, Mrs. Sanchez. Yes, I'm really good at picking the wrong people. Right, Brian? Oh, I need a bigger bag for this because the hockey puck doesn't want to go in. All right, what else we got? I think I got all the YouTube shows. Did I miss any channels? If I missed your channel, I apologize. I'll try and remember them. Actually, I'm going to start writing them down because there's so many good channels out there. There's a ton of good channels out there. Also, check out other Facebook groups. There's a lot of really good Facebook groups. Michael Hinchman has a really good G.I. Joe Facebook group that I love. G.I. Joe Team Adventure, which is a really good one. It's a good one. Lots of good stuff going on in there. All right. I did do Dr. Durant. I said I mentioned him twice. He should only be mentioned once, but I gave him twice. I gave him twice, even though he should only get once. Oh, Brian Sanchez, you should have a YouTube channel. Toy Time with Sanchez. That's a good one. Toy Time with Sanchez. All right, I'm getting the fuck out of here. I've been saying I'm gonna say stop for a few, and we haven't. Oh, let's do this. And Hurley, actually, Dr. Durant Hurley actually reminded me of this. That it was today, right, Brian? That we lost Roberto Legatti last year, who was an amazing wealth of information in the toy community, especially in the Mego toy community. Very good guy. Went too early in life. And off we went. 5150 Toys. Is that you, Sanchez? 5150 Toys? That might be you. That's better be you, because I don't know who that is off the top of my head. I'm assuming that's you. So we lost Roberto Legatti, who was excellent. Great dude. Good friend to everybody. Yeah. Berto, you are definitely missed. You're definitely missed. Okay, so 5150 Toys is you, Sanchez. So go to 5150_toys. It's Brian Sanchez YouTube channel. And please say a prayer still for Roberto's family. It's only been a year, and I'm sure they're still going through some difficult times. It's definitely not easy to lose someone, especially when they're so young. And Berto was always there to help everybody. He had more information, more toys, on tons of subjects, more things than anyone, and never, ever, ever stepped on anyone, ever. Fucking good dude. He was fucking Italian, too, so that makes him even better. Better than the rest of yous non-Italians. No, he was a good dude. He was a very good dude. He had a very interesting recipe for meatballs with raisins and pine nuts, which I never heard of. I mean, we're Italian, we live in Italy, and I never heard of that. So that's awesome. But yeah, anyway. All right, let's get out of here before I can't do this anymore. And want to definitely say thank you guys for watching. If you missed it, you can catch the rerun. It takes a little bit of a while for this to upload to YouTube. Sometimes it takes 10 minutes, sometimes it takes 2 hours. YouTube's just horrible. But thanks for watching. Everybody have a really good night. Peace.